And it says we're live. Of course, it's Thursday night. I'm here. You're beautiful. That means it's time, baby, for GotBot Goes live. I'm your host, of course, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, a.k.a. GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe. And while you're at it, baby, ooh, done it well that time. Hit the notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton. It lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, the Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm a mod or an admin for, as well as all my social media links, all of that in the description down below. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we offer to you through Teespring, or of course, hit the join button right here on YouTube to become a channel member, baby. So tonight we got news that's official to cover. We got news that's third party to cover, and we got a pretty big unboxing. Now, really only one thing out of it is something I own. The rest of it is on loan for review purposes, but it's going to be an interesting unboxing as we go through. Of course, I hope you guys are having a tremendous Thursday. Naturally, I'm going to take a couple of moments here, get things sort of set up, so bear with me a little bit. I will get to the chat in a moment when I get set up and say hello to everybody coming in there as well. Let's see here. I'll go over there. I'm sorry about having to take the time here to set this up, but you know how it goes. You know how it goes. And I guess I can go down there. And of course, people are just kind of now starting to come in here. I'm going to eat my dessert while we wait. You broke your bell? That's rough. Welcome, by the way, Blue Raccoon. Hey, JJ is the magician of our community who happens to find everything. Hey, Manitoba. Hey, Dragonfly. Hey, Mr. Rivas. I'm sorry you're seeing me eat my dessert, but I was kind of rushing my dinner to get here to do the show. The animated B turbo thrusters don't fit my thrilling 30B. That doesn't really surprise me. Is there anything you could do to customize it to make it fit, I wonder? I don't know. We don't have a ton of news, but we got some interesting news to talk about. So, what? Yeah, I'm the host, right? If I'm the host, I should be a little more professional at this. I'm not. I'm like the least professional dude on the planet. If I'm making a show, it's so hot here, I can't keep the icing from melting off my Timmies. Oh, man, that's rough. You must have an ice cap. You got to have an ice cap. Am I right, Manitoba? Hey, Maximal. Hey, Jade. Okay, how about we jump into the news? What do you say? Let's jump into the news. So Cang Toy showed their Legends dive bomb. He's going to stand at about 10 centimeters. Highly articulated, highly detailed. We know they're doing their MP one. We know a lot of people have been in on it. Some people are nervous because the word is there's going to actually be 6 of those members, and one of them is going to be a gorilla, a la Optimus Primal. We'll see how it works out. I know some people are excited. Some people are really nervous about what the final combined mode will be like. Of course, I think they're being smart in also doing a Legends version because the Legends market is huge. This looks glorious. It is, again, just like with their MP scaled version, highly stylized. You got to be okay with it being stylized, but it's obviously a bird. It's orange is black. It's obviously dive bomb. It looks beautiful, looks glorious, but you got to be cool with the aesthetic that's being offered, which is something highly stylized. Rise of the Beasts. We saw an image of Bumblebee and Optimus Prime. Bumblebee looks like Bumblebee from the Bumblebee movie, pretty much, more or less. I think I think it's a slightly different truck. I think like the section over the windshield, I think like that advisory type of section, it might be a little bit different. The Bumblebee is the Camaro-y looking lad. So, I mean, it makes sense. This is supposed to be following on from the Bumblebee movie, so that makes perfect sense to me. The ARC has apparently released in Canada. at Toys R Us in store, though oddly has not shipped out to people that ordered it online. I mean, I haven't seen it at our Toys R Us, and I have already talked about the Canadian versus the US pricing before. So, I mean, you guys already know my feeling on that. What am I eating for dessert? I had a 2-bite brownie, and this is a Nanamo bar. I love these things. It was in the fridge too, so it's nice and cold. Oh, the icing on your donuts. That's even worse, Manitoba, when it's chocolate, because you get it all over everything and it's not on your donuts. Rough. Hey, Ken. That's the end of my dessert, by the way. Hey, Cyber. Combiner, you didn't miss much. It's just the Legends Cang Toys Dive Bomb. You know, I mean, it is what it is. Hey, Masterfire. I actually got to send you a message, Masterfire. Unless Maximal10 asks it here in the chat. I've been having a hard time finding motivation to make videos. What do you do? I literally don't stop working. I don't have time to not be motivated. You can ask Starscream Wife. Every single day, I already have a laundry list of things to do in terms of video stuff, Tessa, just family stuff and work stuff. It's even more bonkers when I'm actually at work and not on vacation. I wish I could give you advice, Master Fire, but I really don't have it to give because I don't stop long enough to not be motivated. And that's the truth, unfortunately. I'm late getting off. I had to pull over on the side of the road to send this. Listen, you drive safe, buddy. You drive safe. Okay, going on with the news here. And I know I'm not down through the chat yet, but going on with the news here. Grindor, we saw more images of. Of course, Grindor is out. At least in Canada and I think in the US as well. We all know that, which is really weird. We've talked about it. I think the Grindor looks great. Jolt, I still don't think the Jolt looks good. Even seeing the stock images, it's not doing it for me, but that's just me. Another Bumblebee. This one is from Revenge of the Fallen, I think. Yeah. And it comes with a little like Sam figurine that looks like he's running. I think it's the one that was with Human Alliance. No, not Human Alliance. It was with something. This is like a Sam repack that came with something. I don't know what it was. Anyway, I don't care. It's another B in Studio Series. I don't know how they keep managing to do those. And Thrust. I think the Thrust looks good. Again, I have been thinking about that for my Liege Maximo. It certainly would need some paint apps, some work. Definitely a new head. A few things I've been thinking about there. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But those, I think the Grindor and the Thrust look great. I think the Jolt looks bad. And I'm just beat out. I don't care. What else do you want me to say? We saw more images of the Rescue Bots Optimus Prime Jumbo Jet Wing Racer. It is the Optimus Prime that kind of turns into a jet, and it's able to turn into a base for like smaller Rescue Bots. Not the regular size Rescue Bots, but the small ones. We talked about this back in January or February when the pictures first came out. I think it's a neat idea. Unfortunately, the robot itself is just nothing but a big brick. I mean, there's literally nothing to it but a big brick with, I'll say, these blocky jet wing pieces like off his arm and like bars across his back. I think the base of the jet is where that shines. The robot mode looks like Optimus, so it's a robot mode, but it's not where it shines, man. There's no way that's where it shines. What else do we have here? We saw some more images of the J Balvin yellow G1 Soundwave with the weird accessories like the blaster that came with, I think, Siege Jetfire, and I don't know. I think it's weird. I don't like it. I don't know who this J Balvin is. Somebody said the other day, they said, yeah, boomers, you don't know who this is. Look, if he's not, I'm just going to say it. If he is a musician who doesn't sing English, I'm not going to know who it is. I'm not into like K-pop. I don't understand it. And, you know, I know that there's like a lot of huge musicians, for example, in like Latin America. I don't know any of them. It's not music for me. Nothing against it. It's just, I need to be able to, I'm not a big music person anyway. Starscream Wife is. I'm not. And for me to find some enjoyment in it, I have to be able to find meaning in the lyrics. And that's me. Otherwise, I have really no interest in listening to music. It's not, I could go around with the car radio off if that was the case. So he's big. It's like Bad Bunny, who was at WrestleMania. Like, they were like, multi-platinum, like, hugest star, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I've never heard of this guy. And even when he sang, I was like, I've never heard this. So, like, I admit I'm old, and I admit that there's a lot I don't know. But in terms of being a transformer, this sound wave is weird. I guess it's neat if you like the bright colors and if you know the artist, but I think it's going to be a very niche like segment of the fandom that is going to both know who that is and have an interest in something from G1. I'll be interested to see how well it actually does. What else do we have here? Moon Studios showed off their next 2 members of their Raiden combiner, that being Shuki and Cang. They look great. It's grayscale, so I can't say a whole lot because we don't have colors there yet, but they are aiming for a January 2022 release, and it looks like that they're on track to do so. I have not heard anything in terms of pricing, for example, but if you are kind of intrigued by what Moon Studios is doing, then you know what? The first 2 I thought looked really impressive in bot mode and train mode. I think these 2 look really, really impressive as well. I think that Moon Studio is knocking it out of the park with them, man. We'll see how they function when they come out. But based on what we're seeing, they look really good. Of course, you know me. Looks are only one part of it, baby, because there's looks. And then there's also functionality. We'll see how well they function. Cyberverse and Dinobot Adventures releases kind of across Canada. I don't think that it's really that big of a deal, but cool, I guess. I haven't seen it. I don't go looking for it, to be fair. The self-transforming Optimus Prime. Okay, so that thing like sold out very quickly. Apparently a pre-order, probably as of right now, is after already going up again for it for I think $6.99 on Hasbro Pulse, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if Wave 2, I suppose. It's almost the size of a Titan, so it is a big boy. Like, it's almost the size of, say, Omega Supreme. It's not quite as big as Siege Omega Supreme, but it's well up there, and we already have kind of talked about that to death, right? Like, we know that it's an impressive thing. Super expensive for $700 US, but it is an impressive looking thing. What else do we have? Do we have here? This was an interesting one. So there was this highly stylized set of images from, I think it's called Dreamster Toys, and it's showing a bot that apparently is 22 centimeters in height, and it evidently is going to be Slingshot. If you didn't tell me it was Slingshot, literally nothing about that would tell me it's Slingshot. If I saw it colored, because this was a gray image, a grayscale, if I saw it colored, maybe I'd see it. But in looking at it, I was like, I don't see Slingshot here at all. And I think I could buy and accept everything with it if the head sculpt looked like Slingshot to me. I think if the head sculpt was on, I think the rest of it I'd be able to forgive. With the head sculpt not on, I don't know, man. I'm iffy. To be fair, a while ago we saw images of their combined mode as Superion, and again, the head is off there. And if you didn't tell me it was Superion, I don't know if I'd know it. I might, because it's all jets, and I'd probably say it has to be the aerial bots of Superion. But it is very stylized. Like, I would say as stylized or more stylized than what Cang Toys is doing with their Predaking. It is very, very stylized. Now, it looks great in robot mode. It looks tremendous in jet mode. And it even looks like a good, hefty, chunky arm. Apparently, it's no parts forming. We'll see how it works out. I think it looks good. I don't know if I would necessarily say that it's Slingshot. I mean, to each their own, I guess. We had news come out, apparently, a very small image that sort of indicates that MP55 is going to be Nightbird. And if you look at the image, I mean, let's be realistic. It is a mold reuse with a new head of MP51. And I find that interesting. I find Nightbird a very strange entry in the MP line. I'm not surprised that we're getting that character as a an RC reuse, they did the RC mold. When they do the Datsuns, they know they're going to get 3 out of it. When they do the Lambos, they know they're going to get a couple out of it. When they did Sunstreaker, they know that they're going to get Corden and Spin out of it. When they do the Seekers, they're going to get a billion of them. But what do you do with RC? Here's the thing. To them, it's not worth making it if you can't get more than 1 mold reuse. So what do? You make Nightbird. Now, what's interesting is it transforms into a similar car as RC. We saw that with the Generations line a long time ago in Japan. Sadly, the only Nightbird I have in my collection is that awful reuse of the Siege Chromium mold. That was terrible. So I think it's a fine enough mold, I guess, for this Nightbird, although I was kind of iffy on the RC. But Nightbird didn't transform. She wasn't the Autobot. She wasn't a Decepticon. I mean, she was just a robot who didn't transform. So it's like the fact that she transforms and she's going to have kind of car parts on her, it really isn't MP-ish. Like, I'm sorry, but it's not perfect. It's actually quite stylized, and you're calling it Masterpiece. I don't know. I don't see it. I think it's cool. I think it's definitely cool. And if you're an MP collector, I definitely say get it. But I don't know. I feel like they're veering too far away from what is supposed to define the word masterpiece, is for me anyway. The Red Line had a couple of announcements. The reformatting Megatron, where he's all purple and part of him has the grid on him because he's mid-reformatting into Galvatron, a la the 86 movie. Neat, I guess, if you want an all-purple Megatron. Obviously, it's just the red Megatron mold done in purple. If you like that Megatron, cool. I don't know what the materials are like. I mean, I reviewed Wave 1. I haven't reviewed anything since because Wave 1 really did not impress me. It looked beautiful, but I didn't like the tactile feel in my hands. Then we have, by the way, that Megatron has, I believe, 23 points of articulation. Then we have Optimus Primal as well. Optimus Primal apparently has 74 deco apps. I'm assuming paint apps, which is impressive. I'm not sure where they all are, but that is impressive. As well, he has 35 points of articulation. Now, I looked at it. It's molded, sculpted, really nice. Obviously, he doesn't transform. He does come with his swords. However, between the MP and the Kingdom and the Netflix version of the Kingdom, I don't see anybody buying this. I don't know why anybody would buy this red release. It seems like a really strange release in that line. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people will see it and it'll sell like hotcakes and they'll say, this is what I want my Robot Primal to look like all along. Because I'll give credit where credit is due. The molding on the fur is beautiful and the paint and whatnot on the face and the chest is really nice. But he doesn't turn into an ape. I don't know. I think if you got the Kingdom, honestly, I think if you got the original, I think you're good. I don't see a need for this. That's just me. Maybe you do. Gary Chalk and apparently the creators of Transformers Prime have been added to the big broadcast of 2021, which I believe is what TF Nation is doing. So that's kind of neat. 3-0 showed their MDLX, so M Deluxe, I guess. Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. These are highly stylized G1 versions of Bumblebee and Optimus. The Optimus was a grayscale. The Bumblebee was done in yellow, more yellow than I thought. Like all of his legs were yellow. I kind of wish they were black. It seemed like a lot of yellow on his arms. I wanted more black there for a G1 representation. These don't transform. They're highly articulated, highly detailed, highly painted, but these ones are going to be very stylized. You're probably going to see more this upcoming weekend because I think both of them are going to be shown off by 3-0 at ACG Hong Kong. Is that what it is? Did I get the letters in the right order? Hope I got the letters in the right order. So I we'll see, I suppose. But they do look good. They just, again, like, I feel like that's the story of the news tonight. Things look good, but they're really, really stylized. And I don't know if that means we're kind of running dry with the G1 well when stuff has to become so very stylized. Before I finish off the news, let's go back and check in with a few more of the comments here. Timmy's donuts are great when you know they aren't melting in your hand. That is true. Hey, Lee, happy to see you here, buddy. Let's see. Masterfire could make skids. Yeah, Blue got a good idea there. It sucks that I went to Walmart and a majority of the shelves, especially the Transformer section of it, is pretty much empty with figures already had. Yeah, well, I feel you, Calito. Caldeo. See? I knew I was going to say that really wrong one day. Yeah, I Ken, dude, if you have to go eat your dinner, you go eat your dinner, buddy. Don't know why people bother with pre-orders anymore. People bother with pre-orders because they can't bear the thought of not getting something. I'm sick of pre-orders. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you now, I went today and I actually ordered the TransArt Ravage. Why? Because all along I didn't order it. And I liked it and I thought it looked cool. But I didn't order it because I said, you know what? Hasbro's doing Beast. They're probably going to end up doing the Ravage. And sure enough, they did. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, look at that box. Because the way the box looked and the way Transformers was put on the box, the way the font was, I said, that looks a lot like the way it was done on the Pit. And then they said, it's going to be a PulseCon exclusive. Like, I'm not fighting to try and get something that is really only available in the US and I guess the UK, though they say Canada. Let's put it in perspective. I paid 46. No, well, I had a credit, so I should do it without the credit. Altogether, I paid $76 US shipped for what I ordered from TransArt. If I had to, based on the shipping for Blur, and I got news for you, the box for Blur would be a lot smaller than the box for that Ravage set. That was $48 for shipping, by the way, because all Pulse uses is FedEx. I've also heard that for PulseCon, you have to be paying for Pulse Premium. So you'd have to pay for Premium, plus the $45 US for the set, plus $48 shipping. Without the cost of Premium, we're at about $97 US. That's insane for a deluxe. That's insane. Like that, to even entertain that notion, you would have to absolutely have zero value for money. No, I went with what I thought was the better option and the better value for money. It's really simple as that. I'm done. Tanya got it right. I'm done fighting for these pre-orders and stuff. All that's going to do is ruin the whole thing for me. So I'm done with it. I don't know if you are, but I feel like a lot of people soon enough are going to be there. So, something I got up and coming, the TransArt Ravage, that thing's going to come eventually. Let's go back up here because that really jumped down, man. Let's see. And guys, if I skip stuff, I apologize. Hey, sorry. Hey, Grimlock on. Hey, Sound Blaster. Just lost my remote for a few minutes. Dude, if I could help you find your TV remote, I would. It's probably kicked under the sofa, man. We saw it at a store. I'm the one driving and listening. She's been typing. Fair enough. Hey, Big M. I have seen Tigatron. Let's talk about Tigatron. So I saw the images of Tigatron in cat mode. I don't understand why there's like dirt on his fur. I wish he was just white, to be honest with you. In robot mode, there's definitely changes to the transformation from Cheetor, but I'm really disappointed to see a lot of Cheetor engineering, like a lot, like the legs and the arms, and I'll say the size of the chest, and like it's a lot like Cheetor, and I don't like that mold. I'm hoping that what will happen is this. I'm hoping I will end up getting it. Well, I'm going to end up getting it because I do want Tigatron. I'm hoping that what I'll say is the engineering should have been applied to a Voyager all along. It never should have been applied to a Deluxe, just like Universe Galvatron. That should have been a Voyager because applying it to a Deluxe really didn't work. I'm hoping that that's what my assessment will be. In robot mode, he does look really tremendous. So we'll see. But that's what I'm hoping my assessment is. The one thing I don't like is the storage for the gut gun. I thought would be, part of his gut. But it seems like it's just a peg hole down on his tummy, and you just kind of jam it up there with like all of the guts still sort of hanging. Like it's the epitome of like lazy accessory storage, and I don't like that at Oh, I hope that there's another way to store it. I don't know. At this point, mixed bag. I'm really disappointed to see so much Cheetor engineering because it's not a good mold. I hope that it works better on an upsized character. And he is definitely the like kind of going matter of a Voyager based on how he fits sort of with Dinobot and Rhinox and whatnot. We'll see. We'll see. Mixed bag at this point. Excited for him. Love the face sculpt for both. For both the White Tiger and for Robot. But there's a lot of moving parts there that I'll have to see how they pan out. Rescue bots are bricks anyway. They are. There you go. See, you pre-ordered your Balvin. That's fine. It's weird, and if you like it, man, go for it. Like, I mean, I like the G1 Soundwave. Like, it's a solid mold. It's just a weird look for it. The cassettes are sweet. I agree. Yeah, Bavin who. Like, I don't know the guy. I don't have a connection. So, and I'm not judging it. Like, if you do know him and like him, cool. It's just I'm old man. I don't understand the young kids and their hip music these days. Like, that's what I'm doing in life. What's the funniest Transformers commercial? Mine was the one Burger King. I don't know any, so I don't know. I don't remember the last time I saw a Transformers commercial. When I was 5, I don't know. There you go. See, I'm Hispanic, so I can relate to the music. And that makes perfect sense. 100%. Probably the same sort of thing with well, I don't know if you like rap or not. And I think that's what Bad Bunny does. But like, again, like for me, like I said, I need to know the lyrics. To each their own. And, you know, like I said, it's not a judgment. It's just, you gotta go with what speaks to you, I guess. The Soundwave is weird, but then again, he was used for a Linkin Park. Yeah, he was. He was used for a Linkin Park issue some years ago. And I thought that was strange, too. Like, I like Linkin Park, but again, I wasn't going to buy that Soundwave. I didn't see the point of it. But to each their own. He does look cool. I think it was a lot of gold, if I'm not mistaken, like, or gold paint. I like the band Firelight. I've never even heard of them. Look. What I don't know about music could fill a warehouse. I don't know a lot. I really don't. Boys, somebody help Sound Blaster with his lost TV remote. I don't know why. It can't be gotten that far. Just got an email today. My Rodimus Prime is delayed till August 5th. Now that is... my Rodimus Prime still not shipped out. I'm starting to worry that it's going to end up like the Coneheads. By the way, we're past the year now. Woohoo! We're into year number 2 of that pre-order, baby. Yep, year number 2. I'd love to know how long they're going to let that go. I want the Bumblebee Origins from Buzzworthy Bumblebee. Seeing pics of it. So let's talk about that because that's also part of the news here. So the Origins Bumblebee, I like the... Okay, I like the vehicle mode. If you look at it from top down, underneath, it's a lot of hollowness, man. For an era where everybody said, well, the prices went up because now there's no hollowness. There's a lot of hollowness on that thing. And I mean a ton of hollowness on that thing. Pardon me. The robot mode is okay. The head sculpt is mushy. It is not the best Bumblebee head sculpt they've done. The robot mode has a lot of kibble hanging off of it. It's obviously a deluxe size, if you consider Bumblebee and Cliffjumper a deluxe size, which I don't. It shouldn't be $32.99 Canadian. It should be about $22.99 Canadian. That would be probably about right for it. 20, actually. $19.99 to be honest with you, but I'd accept 22. I don't know. I wanted it. I think it's going to be a spur of the moment thing. Like, I wouldn't pre-order it or nothing like that. If I see it, I'll get it. But I think it's going to be a spur of the moment thing because I do like the alt mode. So we'll see. We'll see. But like, I think that's the selling point for it is the alt mode. Oh, and I want those Energon rods. I don't think the robot's the strongest. We'll see how it functions. I don't think the robot's the strongest mode of it because of the kibble. But I do think that they did the best they could to kind of compact the kibble the best they could for what is essentially a strange alt mode. Like, here's my take on it. I think it's overpriced, naturally. But I think it's the best they could do in order to give us this alt mode, if that makes sense. Transformers, what? Lego Clutch freaking powers. If you haven't seen it, you should. I don't have a clue what you're talking about, Caldeo. I don't know who Diamond Bolt is. I don't know what you're talking about. I want to see that too. As soon as I can order or find it, I'll get it. I don't think you're going to be able to order it. Maybe. I mean, maybe it'll be on toysrus.ca, but like, I don't think many people want to do that. I guess it's Target down in the US, but up here, the Toys R Us site's not great. Oh, going to go see Old. That looks like a freaky movie. I actually want to see that too, Mike. Let me know if it's any good, man. All this mold reuse is really tiring me out. One passed on a lot of the recents. I know some people are excited, but I just can't. That's fair, honestly. It's better than the Siege Nightbird from Gen Selects or finding the original Legends figure. Is it, though? I mean, it's going to be wicked expensive, and it's not going to scale with anything, so I guess it depends. What's my take on the Alternators line? It was Masterpiece before there was Masterpiece. Excellent vehicles, kind of bonkers transformations. Okay robots. Some of them are hit or miss. Some of the articulation is great. Some of it is a little limited. So mixed bag. It's not a line for me, but I respect it. I've moved to Legends. A lot of people have moved to Legends. Yeah. Yeah, I love GoBots. GoBots are great, man. I just saw today, as a matter of fact, some images from our buddy Justin from the 3D Corner of a 3D printed Leader 1. I'm hoping to get a chance to look at it at some point for you because I think he's going to do it for himself. I would like to be able to review that for you, but a 3D printed Leader 1 should be interesting. By the way, I think that the Action Robo stuff, is that what it was called? Or was it like... Is that what's called? Actual, the recent stuff, man. The recent stuff. You know what I'm talking about. I think that that's been done well as well, generally. If they're going to price gouge, you would think that they would construct new molds. Why? Why would they construct new molds? Like, I love when people say stuff like this. Like Warren just said there, if they're going to price gouge, you figure they make new molds. Why? You're going to buy it anyway. They've already proven that they're going to get your money anyway. Doesn't matter what they charge. It doesn't matter if it's a mold reuse. They're going to get your money anyway because you're addicted and they know it. That's why they don't do it. It's not a... Stop thinking that they're going to do things to please customers because it's the right thing to do. Stop thinking that they're giving you their best. They're not. I don't know why I got to say this every week. They're not, man. They're going to give you as little as they possibly can until we say enough is enough. That's what they're going to do. I said it already by automatically saying I'm not buying Ravage because I don't support the existence of Pulse. I think it's a bad business model and nobody should buy from there. So I went with another product from another company. Same thing with the Star Saber. I have no interest in crowdfunding a multi-million-dollar company. It is bad business. It is a bad business model and nobody should do it. Simple as that. They always say speak with your wallet. Just saying. Warren's right. Morally speaking, they should give us new molds. Warren's 100% right. But that's morally speaking. It's not practicality. I'm not in Nightbird Siege mold. I don't like the Nightbird Siege mold either. I'm thinking of cutting the Siege parts off of her, actually. Slew of repaints. Of course we are. Why give new molds? I really like alternators for the time. Yeah, I get it. Has anybody else seen the Shockwave Labs transport vehicle for the Ark that just pops? Yeah, I did see that. I think that that is a really good addition to the Ark to be able to make it kind of like it's getting ready to take off or whatever. I think it's a great little set from Shockwave Labs. I've got a few of their products, to be honest with you. They always do stuff that I'm happy with. So I'm confident that this will be a good set. If you're thinking about getting a Tanya, go for it. Reformatting Megatron would have a skull face. I don't think he does, though. But you're right. He should. MP Nightbird is no different to me than MP Trax, Road Rage, and Trax. I mean, I got all three, so maybe I'm not the right person to critique. Fair enough. I've heard the other waves of Red are better. Maybe they are. But here's the problem. Your first outing was your chance to impress me, and you failed, so now I'm not in for the line. I don't do second chances. I'm not in for the line. They failed. That's on Hasbro for failing. Target was running a spend 100, get 25 back. I guess if you get anything on sale, they send an email asking if you want to keep waiting. If you don't answer, they cancel your order. That doesn't seem like good business either. Would have liked a better if they made a half Megatron, half Galvatron. Yeah, that would have been interesting. Do you plan on getting the DNA design upgrade for the Earthrise Scorponok? No, I have zero need for it. I have all the upgrades I need for Scorponok. I have extra blasters. I have his big orange gun. I don't see any need to get it, especially since each kit in Canada here is $65 plus shipping. I don't see the need to get it. But if you don't have the 3D printed upgrades like I do, courtesy of our buddy Grimlock Gone, then yeah, maybe you should get it. Maybe. For me, I don't need it, but I respect the people who do get it and have a need for it. Because I do, and I think it's great. I think it's done well. DNA Design, I like their products. I would expect it to be top notch, to be honest with you. I was really into reformatting Megs, but it's just Megs with lines. Yeah, it is just Megs with lines. And I'm going down here. And I know I'm skipping some stuff now, guys. Let's see. Where are my last remote? Dude, I hope you got your remote back. I don't know where's two. I told you it's probably under the sofa. Maybe it's under a blanket. Maybe the dog took it. I don't even know if you have a dog. I got the TNA kit coming for 86 Grimlock ordered. Let's see. All the Reds in Alabama are shell forming. Yeah, the Reds here are shell forming too. Like I could go right now and get the Reds like that. I don't want them. Thanks, Pender Drill. Let's see. They opened Tim's in Brooklyn. Really? Interesting. It's funny, So it's really weird. Tim Hortons went through a period where like a lot of people said like their coffee's not the same. It's not as good. Apparently what happened, at least here in Canada, or the story that came to me was that they got a new supplier for their coffee and let their old one go. And then McDonald's, whose coffee was pretty not great from McCafe, apparently they picked up Tim Hortons' old supplier. So really what ended up happening is the old Tim Hortons coffee became the new McDonald's coffee, and the new Tim Hortons coffee wasn't that great. And apparently they have switched again. And I think it's to the betterment because I like their coffee more again now. I tell you what, another company in Canada that struggled has been A&W with their coffee. And A&W's coffee now is really nice, actually. But if a Tim Hortons opened up in Brooklyn, Ken, I'm telling you now, do yourself a favor, get an everything bagel with herb and garlic cream cheese. Man, those things are delicious. Absolutely delicious. Hey, Timmy. Oh, that went down. I have no idea how far up I got to go here. How far up do I have to go? You guys. I can get 2 of the Ravage if you want one. No, man, it's cool. I appreciate it, Timmy. I do. And I really do appreciate the help 100%. I wouldn't want to put anybody out. I have put a lot of people out. Here's the thing. I'm so thankful to have such a wonderful community of people that are willing to help me out. You have no idea how much that means to me. You really, really don't. But at the same time, I don't want to abuse that. And I know I've asked a lot of people over the last couple of years for a lot of help because Hasbro is just not servicing fans the way they should. I don't want to take advantage of people's kindness. I feel like I have to take a stand now in a different way. So Timmy, I really appreciate it. I don't want you to put yourself out at all. The Ravage is $45, even if it's not Canada, and it's not worth it. That's fair. Honestly, that's fair. That's like the female turn. Yeah, I found a store selling it for $92 and I got excited. The shipping was $92. Like, sometimes the shipping is prohibitive. Like, if it gets to a point where it's the cost or more than the character, then why? There's a siren. Then why would you do that? Like, to me, that's prohibitive. My last eBay list, all of the orders were 2 Star Sabers, 1 for Megatron, and Optimus each. I haven't ordered anything off of eBay in a long time. I never order from Pulse, but almost 90% of my collection came from in-store. Yeah, but Jay, you are the magic man. It's funny, I was talking to Triple R earlier, and I was like, Jay's magic. And he was like, I agree. Jay is magic. So, like, great minds agree, buddy. I checked under my sofa, believe me. What about in the fridge? Did you lay it in the fridge? Did you go get a snack and put it in the fridge? I've done that. Yeah, I guess the yellow is accurate to the real world's pigment changing, but like I want my Tigatron clean. That's all I'm saying. The cliff jumper of Beast Wars in the way. I hear you, man. You're not wrong. Lower leg sculpts look much the same on they look exactly the same on Tigatron. That disappointed me. Can't be as bad as Tracks. I wouldn't know. I don't have Tracks, and I don't know anything about it. I don't want to know anything about it until I got him in my hand. My Cheetor broke into my Kingdom Cheetor crumbled in 3 places. He crumbled to pieces. My Netflix one has not yet, but I really don't handle him much, and I won't because I would expect him to crumble. I got news for you. My original, not gone very far. The dirt on the fur look like yellowing. Absolutely. I got 20 pre-orders on both TFs and G.I. Joes. I need to stop ordering. You do, D. Gray. Whoa, buddy. Hey, Solid. I'm disappointed now hearing it's the Cheetor mold. I was disappointed. It's more than just the Cheetor mold because it's bigger and the main body has different molding. I'm hoping that here's what I said about the Cheetor. I said the problem with the Cheetor was this. You thinned down the plastic and you thinned down the plastic and you thinned down the plastic to 61 grams of plastic, and it was too thin. That's why stuff broke. I'm hoping on a Voyager, I'll say, here's what the plastic always should have been like. Here's the thickness it always should have been. Of course, then, you know what I'm going to say following that? I'm going to say, I think the original use was Tigatron, and they downsized that engineering to give us Cheetor, and it failed. I bet you that's what it's going to be. Let's just finish off the news before I kind of finish that off and we get to the unboxing because this is pretty big unboxing tonight. Voyager Tigatron we've already talked about. The buzzworthy bee thing, that only leaves one last piece of news, actually. The Flame Toys Kuru Katakuri set to go on Optimus Prime to make him God Jetwing Optimus. We know that this release from Flame Toys is a bit different because it's not an actual character. It is all of the jet parts to go on their Optimus to make him a huge Jetwing Optimus Prime. It is stunning. He cannot transform. It does not transform. It is meant to be, I think, more art than anything else. It is meant to put in dynamic poses and look spectacular. It is meant to be the centerpiece of a collection, and I highly suggest you go and see the couple of images out there for it. It's gorgeous. It's art, and that's the best way to describe it. I'm going to go through the rest here, then we're going to do trivia, and then we're going to do the unboxing because that's it for the news tonight. You're leaving for 2 minutes. Okay. Let's see. There were some nice reveals. I don't listen to explicit. I like clean. That's fair. Definitely got my Scorponok and the Minions on pre-order. Scourge, lots of Joes. Man, oh man, oh man. I got the Jurassic Park crossover pre-ordered. Oh yeah, a few people got that pre-ordered. It's not for me because I don't have, again, it's much like with that Soundwave. I don't have a connection to Jurassic Park at all. So I don't really care to have it. But if somebody is a fan of that franchise, then I guess this is a solid set for them. By the way, I'll say this. We all know that on the 29th, Kingdom comes out. Woohoo! Can't wait. I have heard that it's very strange hearing the beasts with different voices. I've heard that a lot of the personalities are the same, except for Beast Wars Megatron. I don't like that. Don't change it. This is the problem. You have people working on stuff that's like, let's recreate the wheel. Stop it. Fans already know these characters. Stop recreating the wheel. It shouldn't be that hard to make dynamic fiction. that links back to the characters that people know and love. And for some reason, every 3 years, they got to recreate the wheel. Stop recreating it. Instead, think of it more like a building. And each thing you do should build on a new room or a new section or a gazebo or, a terrace or a hot tub. I don't know. It should build on to the existing structure. Hope you get quicker than mine. I waited about a year for my G.I. Joe His Tank and Striker. When it comes to pre-orders, the waiting is the hardest part. It is the hardest part. And the thing is, it's no guarantee. Like, I had that 4-pack of mini cassettes on pre-order with EB Games. And they called me one day and said, yeah, so your pre-order is canceled. Then what was the point of me pre-ordering it? Thanks, guys. Now I got to go and try and find it after the fact. I found it, luckily. But, like, why didn't you just cancel it earlier then? You know what I mean? Like, there was a time that we didn't do pre-orders. They didn't really exist. You just went to the store and you bought the thing because it was out. What happened to those days? My pre-orders always come later. Building a Lego Nintendo for my wife. Interesting. Everybody says that they miss Toys R Us. Guys, don't. Unless yours was way better than ours, because ours is grossly behind on everything. Let's see. I do watch other people's stop motions. Yes, I absolutely do. Let's see. Frustrating at worst. I hear frustrating at worst for pre-orders. Hate the buzzworthy set. Having Fangry. Why? It should be released singular. Why? Because you want Fangry, and instead of charging you a deluxe price, now they're going to charge you this, I don't know, $85, $90, whatever it is, when really all they did is took Primal and said, let's slap some purple on it. And they took some leftover B heads and they took some leftover hubcaps and slapped them together and took some weird plastics that they had left and said, make some black arachnids. We'll call it toy accurate. Literally no effort had to go into that set at all. But you're going to get it because you want that Fangry. And everybody's saying the same thing. I'm going to get Fangry. I'm going to sell the others. Nobody wants the others. You're not going to sell them because nobody wants them. You're going to have to come up with a way to use them yourself, as will I. Let's see. I don't like having to pay double for upgrades. That's fair. They should just do it right to begin with. Do you have plans on adding GoBots and Shattered Glass? Shattered Glass, yes. GoBots, I don't have any, so I doubt it. Hasbro will get you every time. I'm boycotting Pulse. Pulse should flatline. Agree. So we go down here. I know I'm missing stuff, guys, because I want to get to the trivia and I want to do the unboxing and, get out of here, right? Let's see. I hope those good old days come back. Me too. I miss the all walks. Me too, buddy. Okay, let's do trivia. This is a fun one. In Transformers G1, in the G1 series, which combiner was created by the Quintessons? In fact, created by the Quintessons to go and steal Metroplex's T-Cog from Blur and Wheelie. Was it A, the Predacons, B, the Combaticons, C, the Stunticons, or D, the Seacons? Which combiner did the Quintessons make? Did they make Predaking? Did they make Bruticus? Did they make Menasor, or did they make King Poseidon? Who did they make? A, B, C, or D? Abominus wasn't the choice. D. Dragonfly says A. Blue says D with a question mark. The sad thing is, if you want the Shattered Glass Transformers for a decent price, you have to deal with Pulse. I have those sourced through someone. I don't feel good about it. A. Oh, a lot of A's and D's. A lot of A's and D's here, guys. A lot of A's and D's. The answer, I get it, because we all know it wasn't the Stunticons, right? Megatron made those, right? We all know that it wasn't the Combaticons because Starscream made those, right? So it was either A or D, right? And the answer is A, the Predacons. Predaking was made by the Quints went to steal the transformation cog. Really was kind of stopped by Skylinks, and then Metroplex went on to defeat Trypticon. That storyline played out in the 5 Faces of Darkness. Gonna have to watch like all I've done, man. Well, I've done the news. I'm not gonna say all I've done is the news, but the big thing now, ladies and gentlemen, is the unboxing, and then we can get out of here. Now, this is going to be a fun one. First things first, I got in. Oh, hold on. First things first, I got in. It was mentioned a few minutes ago about G.I. Joes. And I told you guys, of course, how several were sent to me by Ultra Megatronus. And I kind of got my old ones as well. I've counted them up. There's about 80. And just a few in there that I actually wanted to point out. And you'll see why I wanted to point it out as we kind of go through here. Just in some of my old ones. This isn't the main unboxing. There's a big box there. You know, like a Road Pig. I love this guy. One of my favorite Transformers. And, you know, we have my Tiger Force, I think it's called, Roadblock. Here's the thing. I kept looking at the new Roadblock, and I'm like, do I want him? Do I not want him? And I'm like, something's off about him. I'm going to tell you what it is. Roadblock traditionally has a mustache and what do you call the little piece of hair there? Soul patch? Is that what it's called? That's what he had. That's what this guy has. The new one has a full goatee. That's why he looks off to me, because he doesn't have this facial hair. Love this guy. Really love this guy still to this day. Dusty actually came with some soft goods. You don't see that too often. One of my other favorites was Target, one of the Iron Grenadiers. I like him. Another Tiger Force one, you know, with what's this guy's name? Tripwire. My favorite of the Vipers, my Techno Viper. Absolute favorite of the Vipers. I don't need that guy. My original Duke, which is actually the Tiger Force Duke. I didn't have the Duke before that. But here's what I thought might be kind of interesting. First, the very first thing I ever ordered through the mail was this guy. A lot of people got this guy. It was the one that, like, it's you as a G.I. Joe. And it's made up of all these random bits and pieces. My knee pads are broken off. My legs are, they're loosey-goosey now after all these years. But his O-ring is well intact, shockingly. I called this guy Heavy Artillery. That was the name I came up with for him. And this was the other thing that I thought might be interesting. The very first 4 G.I. Joes I ever had were Bazooka. Now, this is the Tiger Force Bazooka. The one with the red shirt was the one that I had. I don't know what happened to him, but he got replaced with this guy. So, the original Bazooka. But the first, I'll say carded one that I got from a drugstore, actually, in my hometown was Airborne. The first one that I ever got of any G.I. Joe at all, I got for Christmas. I got with a helicopter, and it was Wild Bill. This guy right now is 39 years old, and shockingly, his O-ring is still intact. His legs are loosey-goosey, but he is generally intact, shockingly. And the fourth one that I found in a store, and I've done the kid thing where, like, you walk around with your mom and you say, well, can I just hold it until we leave? I never saw him before, and I never saw this version of him again after. It is my original Snake Eyes, and he is the one that came with Timber. So I'm kind of really thankful, very nostalgic to have those guys back around. Now let's get to the Transformers that I have. More Joe's Play. Yeah, can't go wrong there, right? See you next week. Same time. Absolutely same time, baby. I just watched the 86 movie. I haven't watched that in a long time now. I've kind of gone back, though, and I've been watching, when I'm doing workouts, I've been watching, now I'm into season 2 again. So I've been going back and having a look at that. Starscream Technology wasn't created at the Combaticons? Do you mean technically? Yes, okay, I know they're personality components, blah, 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 blah. But he built the new bodies on Earth from those old vehicles, blah, blah, blah. Yes, Yes, you're splitting hairs. Stop that. I hate when people do that. It bugs me. That was like when I was talking about the top 10 primes, and people said, well, technically we do have an Onyx Primal, or sorry, an Onyx Prime, because it's the little tight metal. Let's not insult Onyx Prime by even acknowledging the existence of that thing. Come on, guys, you know better than that. Now I got to get a Quint. You had to get a Quint all along, man. Okay, so let's get to the big thing. Let's get to the big things here. First things first. I got finally my Galvatron. My pre-order for my Galvatron came in. Mine has the shoulder issue. And guess what? I ain't popping no pin. And I'm not even turning it around because I looked at the animation and honestly, it varies. Sometimes the higher shoulder, yeah, that's in the animation. And sometimes the top of the shoulder comes to the very bottom of the shoulder pauldron, which is what this is here. I was talking about it with Ninja Bill. And he said, well, a lot of people are saying it can transform with the shoulder run. Mine transforms just fine. And I showed it to him. He said, this tab doesn't go in. I'm like, yes, it does. On mine. I showed it to him. Mine, luckily, transforms fine. I like the lower shoulders. That's how I'm leaving it. You may notice a couple of things done here. You may not. I do have a few paint apps added. The black on his chin, some red in some places. And I took off that disgusting blue goop on him. That actually came off purple. Apparently it was purple paint. I didn't like it. If you do, cool. I do think that in terms of the battle damage, it was the best applied of the battle damage. I didn't want it on my Galvatron. I had been iffy about this guy. I like him in hand. We'll see how it goes. Right now, I'm in the process of doing the reviews for the Fans Project Dino King. Love that thing. No rush to do this guy because everyone and their dog has done him. But when I do him, we'll see if he's truly leader. And we're going to see just how he stacks up next to the Unique Toys Mania King, the Vintage Color Edition. Which version of Galvatron is going to be my version of Galvatron? Happy to have the guy. Finally. And then that brings us to the big box. If you saw the thumbnail, you saw me holding this big box. Everything from here on out, all of that I showed you is mine. Everything from here on out now is on loan to the channel from our buddy Maximal 10. Let's see. People say that the tracks end up too low, but don't care. The tracks end up too low? Well, I don't know why the tracks would end up too low, but okay. Been looking for Kingdom Red Alert. I haven't seen them since that first wave. I think there's still a couple of EBs here. The Quintesson in stock for $32. Galvatron is fine no matter which way you know what? Jay just said there. Galvatron's fine no matter which way the shoulders are. It's funny. I was having this conversation earlier, and you know what I guess concluded? If you want to do the fix, do it. If yours is assembled properly, perfect. If yours isn't, and you're cool with them being a bit lower, fine. I think there's an argument for both the shoulders being up and the shoulders being down. I think it's whatever you like aesthetically. He seems to work fine either way. I don't see a loss there. It's just, what is it that you prefer? I also got Slag, and he's really great in my opinion. I can't say anything to that. I don't have Slag, and I don't like hearing other people's opinions because the color's mine. Have I heard of Transformer Land? They sell stuff. I've heard of Transformer Land, and I haven't found the prices that great. So, to be honest with you. Okay, so a lot of people say that places got good prices, but when I look at it and do the conversion to Canadian, I'm like, the prices here aren't that great. But I guess it depends where you live, right? But they are a great source of information. That's what Transformer Land is, a great source of information. Okay. Yeah, right. Okay, so first thing in this big box is this thing. And I saw it and I groaned. It is the movie Masterpiece Megatron. If you guys watched my review of the Bumblebee movie Bumblebee, then you know I detest that thing with the passion of 100 billion suns. I think it's trash, garbage. It never should have seen the light of day. It is the single worst Transformer that was ever made. And almost makes me hate the franchise. It's that bad. It got the worst score of anything. It's worse than Universe Galvatron. It's worse than Reveal the Shield Perceptor. I don't like fans' toys. It's worse than anything from fans' toys. I think it's that bad. I have loved the Barricade, and I thought that the Ironhide was not good. I'm nervous about this. I think it looks great, but I'm nervous about it. We'll see how it goes. Then, we're not actually done with Masterpiece yet. I guess Maximal 10 is really trying to test me here, because we also have Masterpiece Grimlock, which we'll take a look at. Know zero about it. Want to know zero about it. We'll see how it goes. It feels interesting. I'll say that. He feels interesting. I mean, he makes noise when I shake him. I don't. We'll see. There's a lot of gold chrome there, though, man. We'll see. We'll see. It's interesting. Is it going to be perfect? Because it's got to be perfect, right? Then we're still not done with Masterpiece. Hot Rod. Oh, Hot Rod. Oh, Hot Rod. I don't know. Again, we'll see how this goes. We know what happened the last time I looked at a Hot Rod. We'll see how this thing goes. I don't have high hopes, but we'll see how it goes. I do like the heft to him, though. We'll see how it goes. Then we have the other movie masterpiece, Bumblebee, the MPM 3. This got to be better. It has to be better than what we looked at, because what we looked at was utter trash. It got to be better, man. SS86 Grimlock Superior. That's what I'm wondering. That's what I'm wondering, Nate. That's what I'm wondering. I've heard the Masterpiece Hot Rod is bad. You know, Jay, if it's bad, I'm going to obliterate it. You know I will. You absolutely know I will. No, I want to. What else do we have here? Because we're not done yet. Hold on. This one's going to surprise some people. I'm not even going to say what it is. I'm just going to show it, and I'm going to let you guys say in the chat what it is. I'm not even going to say what it is. First is this. What is it? Somebody say who it is. Oh, come on, guys. Nobody knows? I'm not even going to say it. We'll see when the time comes, when the review comes. Sideburn! There you go, Sideburn. No, Sideburn. And boom, who is it? How often do you see these guys anymore? Sideburn dressed up as his girlfriend. That's funny. I think it's X-Bron. I could be wrong, because this is from Maximal 10, so he could tell me. But I think it's X-Bron. Or is it Armorhide? I'm not sure. I think it's X-Bron, though. Pretty sure it's X-Bron. And this one's the easier one. Prowl. Super Sideburn. Super Sideburn. That was the red one, right? Yeah. So how often, what's that? R.E.D 2001. How often do you get to see that, man? Not very often, right? Not very often. So I'm excited to take a look at those. Super Mock Alert, if you want, right? Then we have another, I don't know what this little Grimlock is, but it's definitely a little Grimlock. We'll have a look at this little Grimlock. World's Smallest, maybe? Is it World's Smallest? It is World's Smallest. World's Smallest Grimlock. So we'll take a look at that. And then this is an animated, is it Ratchet? Animated Ratchet. Yeah, it is. I'm going to say in its Cybertronian mode, which is weird. Then we have, I don't know what this is. Oh, that goes with MP Hot Rod or Rodimus or whatever. Then we have, I don't even know who this is. I know it's animated, but I don't know who it is offhand. Anybody know who this is offhand? I think it's animated, but I don't know who it is. Anybody know who this is? I'd have to look it up. Override. Oh, Override. Cybertron Override. My mistake. That's G.I. Joe. That is G.I. Joe right there. Neat. Then we also have a world's smallest slag, I think. I believe that's slag, world's smallest slag. Oh, really? Cool. And then this looks like animated Ratchet now in his Earth mode, which is cool. We'll probably look at both of those together. Yeah, I know what you meant. I know what you meant, Maximal 10. Then we have, I'm going to say R.E.D. or Cyberverse, Grimlock. One of it. Definitely one of it. It's interesting. It's interesting. I'm going to say it's interesting. It could make a good downside Snowcat. I've never seen any world's smallest Transformers. I think I've done a couple on the channel. Maybe. I could be wrong about that. Then that goes with MP Grimlock. Then we have, and I haven't looked at this either. This is the Bumblebee that turns into a Jeep. I haven't looked at this thing. We'll see how that goes. It's a tiny deluxe again. We'll see how it goes. Then we get to probably the most interesting thing in here. I think the most interesting thing in here. 2015 Grimlock looks cool. If you get the world's smallest Galvatron, I think you would be impressed. Maybe. Okay. I think this is the most interesting thing. This is it. Then we can get out of here. This is a Constructicon, right? This is a Studio Series Constructicon, right? Wrong. This and this Studio Series Constructicons, right? Wrong. Studio Series Constructicons. Wrong. That's a diverse haul. It is a very diverse haul. Boom. Right. Wrong. Again, you get where I'm going with this, right? And lastly, by the way, I know that like parts are off him, by the way. They're in the box. This, my friends, is not Studio Series. This, my friends, is actually the KO. It is the KO. It's going to be very interesting to see how that works. I don't have it to compare to the actual Studio Series, but it'll be interesting as we go through. I'm going to need you guys, when I do the reviews of these, I'm going to need you guys to kind of be able to chime in and tell me how it kind of matches up with the actual Studio Series. And we will see Devastator all done, and I'll give my thoughts then. And finally, though there's a piece in the box as well. Boom. Pretty sure this is Beast Wars. Can't remember the dude's name, though. Yeah, those are the AOI versions. Indeed, they are. You got it. Review Jada sometimes. I did once. I had one Jada thing. It's not for me. I'm not a car guy, so I kind of don't care about it. Razorback. There you go. Razorback. Thank you very much, Maximal 10. That's it, ladies, gents. Woo! I told you it was a big one. We had a bit of news, but we had a lot to unbox. And of course, tomorrow, up and coming, is going to be part 3 of our look at Saurus Ryu. And it's going to be the Upper Torso Lad and his bot partner, the Tricerabot, I believe. Then Monday, it's going to be top 10 plot holes / unanswered questions. The voting for that been pretty hectic for me to record. But there you go. Ladies, gents, I love you all. I appreciate you coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you know what to do. Hit the donate button, or use the donate link. Hit the subscribe. See, I've been at this too long this evening. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon, see what we offer to you through Teespring, or of course, hit the join button right here on YouTube to become a channel member. Whew. While you're at it, hit the subscribe button, stick around, have some fun with us here on the channel. Don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every single day, man, you right there, sitting right there, looking for your TV remote, you do make a difference. And I look forward, baby, to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights, at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way, baby, inside the videos.